What is up, everybody? I am here with Bunny, who's just made some incredible progress over the last several months, and just wanted to really highlight, what she's gone through, where she's been, and really what the future is going to look like now that she's got all these good habits. So, Bunny, how are you doing? Welcome
I'm
to
doing great. Thank you. I feel good. I'm doing good.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm really glad that you've been super consistent this entire time. And I'd say, like, let's just jump right into it. Right off the bat, what would you say your maybe one, two, or top three achievements were, working together? Like, what have you really accomplished for yourself?
By far, the most important one is learning to give myself grace. I've worked with other coaches and had other programs where you weren't allowed to have any grace. Like, oh, I gained 1 pound back, or I didn't walk for 3 days because life was happening, and well, this is important. Like, it's very more punitive than you know, this is how life is. It flows like this, and you're on a track and you're doing great. And so I used to work with after school students, and I called it strength based, to work with students in a
Mm,
strength based way. And I feel like that's what you have done with me is focus on strengths, not be punitive. It's like, and I am on the path of course. So giving that to myself and saying, it's okay that I couldn't walk today because this is this or this, but look at what I've done, look how many steps I'm getting, and, progress over perfection has helped me tremendously. And so that's been like the foundation for the rest, which is, the other wins were learning to track my calories and track food. I've never done that before.
mm,
I've kept food diaries, but never amounts. It's kind of important, um, as I have found. And then incorporating walking almost every day as often, most days, and, even increasing my steps my own self without saying to you, "Should I go up another 1,000 steps?" Like,
mm.
just knowing that I can fit that in and seeing what happened when I did. Um, and then the last one would be, learning to use the equipment that I have already at home. Like, I have a YMCA membership, but being able to use the hand weights and the bands and the things that I have right here at home has been the game changer. Obviously, I had them already, but with your encouragement and support, I learned how to use them in a way that brought me more strength and mobility, and um, just has helped me in every way.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. I'm glad you found all that out because it's, a lot of us have equipment at home, but, are often kind of told or suggested that, well, to get the results, we have to, have the gym membership or, do that and do this. And that stuff can help, but I'm glad you're able to see, oh, guess what? You don't have to necessarily leave the house to get those results, right? Maybe to walk, of course, but I saw you were walking even when it was snowing, like you
That's
were
right.
super committed, right? So that was awesome. You've pulled in all these new habits, you're letting go of the need of being perfect and everything's got to be right every single day. And you've been able to see like actual results. So how much weight have you totally lost since you started?
As of today, 23 pounds.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
I know.
So how does that feel? Yeah.
It feels really good. I feel, better in my clothes, and I've got more to go, and I'm anxious to do it. I should have shared that also, that I don't remember which of your videos, or maybe it was a weekly call where you said, sometimes I forget some people don't like to work out as much as I do, or something like that. And that one sentence made me realize that it's in our mind. And I told my husband, if I was going to go get a massage, I wouldn't say, "Oh, I got to go get a massage today." You'd be like, "My massage is today." What if I could take that energy of positivity and knowing what the outcome, how it makes me feel, to the workouts and say, I'm gonna work out today. It's gonna be great, and I'm gonna feel great afterward instead of, "I don't feel like it?" So there's almost like this toxic mind around working out that we've bought into, that it's drudgery or it's a drag, and turning that around into excitement and looking forward to what I get from it, just like a massage or an acupuncture treatment or something, is also making a big difference. Like, I think that's magic, Brian. Like, could I learn to love working out as much as Brian does?
Yeah,
I can.
that's so great.
I have to in order to get past that, I don't feel
Mhm.
like it, you know? And
Yeah,
then, of course, once you're finished, you're just like, "I feel great." Mm,
yeah.
just taking that and putting it in my pocket and remembering it, for my motivation of, "Remember how it felt afterward."
Oh, that's so great. Because that to me, that's the truth is you really do get those rewards just like getting the massage or getting the acupuncture. I do see it as self-care and knowing that, like, you have the opportunity to work out, which means you're adding more points to your health. You're probably increasing lifespan too. Every workout, you're probably adding a few more breaths to your life, I'd like to think. But you're giving yourself the chance to get stronger, to, build more muscle. Like it's all opportunity based. Yeah, that's great. And then plus, of course, you feel a lot better in your body afterwards. So I'm glad that like that clicked really well and that got kind of connected. That's really, really great. So let me ask you this. Before we started working together, I know you've said you tried different things before here or there, and you didn't really, have the same success you're finding here because, yeah, to lose 23 pounds in what, 3.5, 4 months, it's very, very good rate of progress, right? And that shows that you can continue that, right?
Right.
But beforehand, did you have any doubts or any doubts about weight loss or about, working with someone or even just it being realistic for you. Just maybe this thing isn't for me or I've tried all the things under the sun. What doubts did you have and how did those change throughout working together?
Um, well, the only doubt that I had was that I'd be able to avoid going to the gym, that I would be able to sustain something at home. I wasn't sure that was possible, and I learned that that was. I definitely doubted that I could track my food before I learned how to do it, before you showed me how to do it and just said, "We're gonna track food." I was like, I don't think I can do that." So, and I didn't like it at first, but then I learned to understand. It really, really changed the game, really helped me. So that was
Mm,
one of the big hurdles that I, doubted and found to be really, really useful. And interestingly, um, and no restriction, I think, is the biggest thing too. Learning, doubting that I could eat a piece of pizza and a big salad, and then, like, I've had other programs where, "Ever have pizza the rest of your life. You're literally never gonna have pizza again." And you're like, "Okay, I'll give up wheat if I have to, or sugar or whatever." And, you know, that's not sustainable, as my daughter rightly said, "Mom, that's not sustainable." I'm like, "But it's gonna do." So that's, I guess those are the only 2 that I really, can think of, and then, I think I had a program I did years and years ago when my children were young, when I started having gallbladder trouble because I was losing so fast. Some of these programs, you just take it off so fast, like 5 pounds in a week, or something crazy, and, you're like, "Wow, this is great," and then my gallbladder started acting up, and it was a studio. I went to the studio, and the lady said, "Well, everyone in here," meaning staff, "has had their gallbladder out," and I'm like, "How about I don't join that club?" I don't wanna join that club. But I did start having issues, and I was able to heal my gallbladder myself. But what I learned from that was, and if you talk to people, you'll find, many, many people who've lost weight too fast have had this problem. I wanted to go slow and steady. That's the key, and so that's what I have done with your program is slow and steady, maybe a pound a week, not 5 pounds. So,
Yeah.
the slow and steady is just beautiful, and it's just what I was looking for, and it is sustainable, and so I guess I didn't doubt that there was a program that could do it this way, but I was curious, because I don't wanna do that again. I wouldn't wanna do that again with the very, very fast, makes people real happy because they're like, "I lost 20 pounds in 1 month," it's like,
Wow.
"Okay." So
Y-
do it.
You bring up a really good point. Yeah, because really when there is an extreme amount of weight loss within a short period of time, it's, 5 pounds in a week. I mean, it's probably mostly water. There's probably some fat in there, right? Because you're in a calorie deficit, but you're likely losing a much higher percentage of muscle mass, right? And that's our number one thing is how can we lose body fat while preserving your muscle mass, which is why, I've had you focus on protein, on the resistance training, not running yourself into the ground, and like torturing yourself through a workout, but using the workout to build your body up and letting your calorie intake and your steps dictate that calorie deficit so that it's not too low, right? So that you're losing fat, but you're not burning into the muscle. And then that's quite literally why you've been able to stick with this, I'd say, because it is sustainable for you as a human being, not just for a month-long program or, even 3 months. It's like these are the foundational habits to stick with forever.
Yeah.
So, like
Right.
Todd said, we know, you still have your journey to go on. And I always tell everybody too, even if you hit, say, a weight loss goal, you might now have the idea, well, maybe I want to put on some more muscle, or maybe you want to work on more performance and say, oh, maybe I want to try something new. So the goal will always expand and we're never done. But how do you feel now as far as like your confidence level about achieving the rest of your goal, right? At least the foreseeable weight loss portion. You feel like you've kind of almost like figured out the code, or do you feel like there's still a lot of questions circulating?
I feel like, I figured out the code. I feel like I can take what I've learned and apply it, and, yeah, I can, and I'm going to continue, the workouts, and I feel like the walking has helped so, so much.
Mhm.
Um, and, like I said, my husband is recovering from a stem cell transplant. He was given a year or so to live if he didn't have it. He did have it a year ago, and he's doing really well, and blood cancer, and they told him, "You need to do these exercises, you need to walk," and he wasn't doing it, and I wasn't doing it. It was before I met you, right? Like, we just nobody was doing any of that,
Mhm.
and so then once I started, he was like, "Well, maybe I can get these weights too and do this with you," and so every workout I do, every walk, I had to quit work to help take care of him at that time, so we have the time now. You've saved 2 lives. I'm trying to say
That
is
that
now you've got him doing all and he's getting stronger, and I'm telling you, it's helping his healing from this transplant
Oh, wow.
as much as it's helping me. So,
Oh, thank
2
you for sharing that. That's exactly why I do this. Like, you just drove it home. Like, it's about our health. Of course, we see, the mirror, how our clothes fit is a piece of that. But then that's just extra layer. Deep down, it's long-term health, it's longevity, being able to spend more time with our loved ones, and be able to
Yep.
overcome those issues and things. So
Yeah.
that literally, like, warms my heart, and, like, I didn't know that he wasn't doing that until you started too, and I would like to say this too, just the idea of, like, a lot of times we might all be, like, the only one in our family group or our friend group that might be interested in this health thing, that might be trying to eat better, and so that can be very difficult when everyone around us is just doing the normal stuff and just going with the flow. I mean, life throws a lot of stressors at us, so it's understandable, right? We want comfort, we wanna get through these things. So to create a health journey, can also feel like it's creating stress, right? Because we're doing things different than the norm. But
Mhm.
to know that you've been able to do this for yourself while also like taking care of your husband and then create without even trying with no pressure, you created an environment where he's like, well, let me join you and assist you. And now you guys get to both kind of help each other out. Like, that is so beautiful. Like, I love hearing that.
Yes, and that will go into the future, so later when I'm finished talking with you, we'll go for a walk, and you should see us, Brian. We've got these little Christmas light necklaces, we go walk at night. If the day has been busy, we're gonna go at night, and we have a
Mhm.
neighborhood that you can pretty well do that in without getting run over. But,
Nice.
we got light up everything. We're going walking at night.
Keep you out in the snow at night, ready to go. Oh, I'm on it. Doesn't matter how cold it is.
No, because it feels great.
I love that. Yeah, you're feeling more life, right? You're feeling
Yes.
your cells work, you're feeling yourself breathe and your body, pump that blood throughout your body. That is absolutely awesome, Bunny. Yeah. So, let's just say if you had to speak to somebody who maybe just now, they've been working on a journey themselves, trying to get better in shape, trying to lose the excess weight, but maybe they haven't figured out exactly what it is, right? And say they came across some of my material. What would you say to them if they were like right on the edge of like, well, should I, is this doable for me? Do I need, a ton of support from my family? Is this practical? Is this something I can stick with? Like, what would you tell that person that's kind of got some of those doubts?
It's interesting you asked that because there's a vegan Reddit thread that I belong to, and, someone was asking something like that, and so I told them about I put a link to your site, and I said, "This is who I've been working with," and it was a kind of a little mini testimonial, but it was true. I was saying, I really have tried some other things that for various reasons have not worked, whether it been you can't ever have sugar and wheat the rest of your life, or, you're not even supposed to exercise on that program. You're only gonna focus on your diet. We're not gonna exercise. Like, don't. So there's so much different, knowledge and advice out there, and I feel like, I would tell them, "Run, don't walk." It's a conscious fitness because I feel like you're the magician that has grabbed all the parts and taken the most important parts that work and put them together in a way that is easy, it's enjoyable. I mean, you've even got, like I just even talking about, me changing how I feel about working out, that's never happened before, never. I mean, I've been in programs where I had to work out, and
Mm,
it's always was drudgery, always. And I remember Oprah Winfrey years ago saying, "You gotta get up at 5 in the morning and work out before you start your day or you'll let it get away from you." And I'm like, she had a personal trainer, Bob Green, who came and woke her up every day and said, "Let's do this." I don't have Bob.
yeah.
So I have to be able to motivate myself to do it. But there was all your energy was always there behind that, where I could say, "Brian, I did it," or I really needed that accountability partner that wasn't my husband. I needed you, to be like thumbs up, and with the app that you have us use to, just kind of keep an eye on what's happening and kind of comment and things like that. And so, um, I feel like just all the elements have come together in your program in a way that is sustainable and makes a lot of good sense to me as a vegan already. Um,
Mm.
like I'm not new to the diet, I just ate too much of it and didn't move at all and didn't walk ever. So here you've got someone who's sedentary. When you go to the doctor and like, "How often do you exercise? Is it 3 times a week? Is it twice? Is it none?" And I'm like, "None." That was my answer was always none.
Yeah.
I didn't exercise. I didn't walk. So this is just a huge leap in just 3 or 4 months for me to do a major lifestyle change toward true health and feeling really good just because, the vegan diet is good for you.
Yeah.
But and I don't eat vegan junk food, mind you. Like we eat, homemade lentil burgers, and, everything you can think of. I'm not a junk food vegan, but I also did work remotely, and so I snacked a lot. Like, "Oh, maybe let's see what's up in the kitchen," So I'm not even doing that. Even though I'm not working remotely, I am home, and the kitchen is
Mhm.
still there. But I'm not going there, just because.
Yeah.
So,
You
I
have
think
these parameters now of knowing, okay, this is where, my calories, my protein needs to be. And it kind of doesn't, when you say that it gives you this like kind of reference of, oh, this is the just a right amount, or this would be considered too much. At least now, it's like imagine driving down the street, you're trying to get from, North America all the way up north to down south in Florida. Like, if you just drive, yeah, you'll eventually get it, but if you could look at maps and, you have GPS, it's gonna be a lot easier to know what's the fastest way to get there. So, would you kinda say that knowing, okay, these are where your calories need to be, you start logging and tracking food, then it becomes like, "Oh, well, this is kinda where I need to hang out," and then it becomes a little easier. Is that right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely, that has been very useful. All the parts, the tracking the food, the workouts with stuff that I already have, and see, now I buy now I'm buying weights that are a little heavier than I was using 2-pound weight, now I got a little heavier weights. So that I can see the progress even in that. It's like, this is easier than it was, and I'm ready for more.
mhm.
So, but you weren't saying, and I'm also used to, "Come on, 5 more, come on, you can do a plank for 2 minutes, not a minute and a half, 30 more seconds." You know, that is just not useful. So, for you saying, "Well, maybe today you're gonna wanna do 25 reps or 20 instead of 25." Maybe that's just how you're able to do it today, and that's okay. And tomorrow you do the 25 reps. I never heard anyone say that, Brian. People don't say that. They just grind you, and grinding is kinda what our work life does to us. Many of us
Yeah.
grind through work and raising kids, and like you said, if you don't have the rest of the family in on the especially weighing or measuring your food, it can be difficult. So, but like you said, if you see it as self-care, that's what I mean by strength-based, like, you're seeing it as self-care, and therefore I am now, instead of
Yeah.
something someone's put on me that I gotta do. One more thing I gotta do.
Yeah, another big chore, another big
Yeah.
task.
No, this is gonna help me in every way and my husband,
Yeah.
and so I would absolutely tell folks to, jump in because the water's fine.
Yeah. I want it, yeah.
Come on in.
Mm. Oh, that's awesome, buddy. Yeah, well, I mean, thank you so much, for sharing your story and the things that have worked for you. Is there anything else that you know, want to share that I haven't asked you about, either about your journey, about, the past, about the future, anything else that, coming to mind? Um, Maybe not, but in case there's anything there, I want to give you an opportunity.
Yeah, no, I think I just gratitude, really. I feel extreme gratitude for having discovered you and your program. And just don't underestimate the deep value in the way that you have organized your program and the specific way that you provide support and knowledge to people like all of your clients, I'm sure, and me. Um, it matters a lot. It's
Mm.
you're like a healer.
Aw, thank
So, I mean, in with any healing modalities we might all ascribe to, like,
you.
subscribe to, this is one. And so it's way more than tracking food, working out, getting stronger, losing weight.
Mhm.
Um, there's a real positive energy to it that I'm very thankful for and has made all the difference. So,
Aw, I appreciate
gratitude.
that. I really like to bring that to it because I would say too, for me, in my experience, that was one of the hardest things with me sticking to a routine myself for so many years is just, the grind energy of the workouts and like the intense, I mean, of course I like to keep the intensity up, but in a way that's sustainable and consistent. Cause I'll tell you a quick story. The first time my dad took me to a gym, I was like 17. He had 2 guys kinda train me and, like, show me all these exercises. The next day, I literally couldn't even bend my arms. Like, they just ran me through it. It was so intense that, like, of course, I, like, didn't come back for quite a while, so many of those types of things where you have to go, 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 or go so hard, or overly restrict and say you can't eat any of these foods, and it's gotta be, like, a 1,200 calories or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's probably because I look at the long-term health as the foundation. So it's like, I don't wanna do anything, and I don't want you to do anything today that might benefit you today, but it's not going to benefit you 10 years, 20 years from now. Like, it's all gotta make sense. And I'm glad that really resonated with you
Mhm.
too, and you kinda picked up on some of those differences because you reflecting that back to me helps me kinda see like, "Oh, yes, this is." I kinda live in this every day, but, the general fitness world at large has a lot of contrary points of view compared to
Yeah.
where I'm at, so remembering that helps me because 'cause I'm like, "Yeah, okay, cool, yeah."
Yeah.
Very few things positively, that's why I also call it conscious fitness because, like, let's pay attention to all of these things and how it's affecting us, not just on your physical level, but also mentally and emotionally. Because you could look very fit and very strong, but you could be a wreck up here, and
Mhm.
how much is that gonna benefit us, right?
Yes.
Awesome, buddy. Well, I appreciate you for sharing and, just reflecting all that. That means a lot to me. It's gonna give me some more motivation to keep doing what I do, and I'm looking forward to the future and seeing exactly where you take this because it sounds like you got these habits dialed in, and you've honestly, like, course corrected in your life, and you've said, "Alright, now I'm going down this new path now. So, here we go, time to explore."
That's right. Absolutely. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Well, great talking to you, and we will talk again very soon and see what you're up to.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, funny. Bye. Excellent. Okay, I just paused the recording. Awesome. Great job, Bunny. That was amazing. I appreciate all of that.
All true too. Yay. Yeah. So, yeah, and, like, with the ice that we just had, I mean, Brian, it was no joke, and you really could we couldn't leave the house for a week. You couldn't walk on it unless you had, like, crampons or whatever on your shoes. Like, we don't. So,
Right.
like, we're not rock climbers, so we you couldn't walk on it, and his doctor's always telling him, "Don't fall because blah, blah, blah," and we're like, "I don't want him to fall." So, we just didn't go, and so we have a little foyer in the house. It's probably 15 feet long. I'm walking him back and forth there, I'm dancing, I'm doing all kinds of stuff,
Good. Yeah.
walking all around the house. I got 7,000 steps
No,
in the house.
it shows you it's doable. It's doable.
I know.
It's probably a lot better to do it in there than outside on those days, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Still
now
helps, but it
the
shows.
yeah, now the roads are ready and we're ready, and so we're ready to hit the road, so,
Good. Awesome. Well, Bunny, so I really do appreciate that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna leave you on my emails for those weekly Zooms. So if you
okay,
ever want to pop into those, feel free to come in, bring your energy, ask questions, passively listen. You'll still get all that stuff. So
okay, great.
my gift for you for being so great and sharing, and I really appreciate too what you said. It's helpful for me. It's more information, but kinda how you articulated that, it really did. It helped me out a lot too. So I really appreciate that.
I'm glad. It's true too, and I used to live in Melbourne, Florida years ago, and I worked at a vegetarian cafe, and they had a counter and some tables, but we were right you could sit at the table at the counter and talk to us while we were cooking, you know?
Mhm.
And I remember the manager of the cafe, every single day, she'd get us together in a little huddle and say, you know, "You all are healers. Like, people are coming here to get vegetarian food, but your energy matters, the way you interact with them matters. Don't fight with each other." Like, you're healing people by cooking and feeding them this food, and I've never forgotten that. And so, anyway, that's the analogy I'm making to you, is even when we do the workouts with the videos, whatever, it's just the connection to you and, um, just the way you run the whole program is just really healing. It's like, I wasn't kidding. It's much more than the parts of it. So, it's also specific to you, and so just, it's like you took that message to heart as well in your work, and, like, it's like that what you're doing is healing people. So, that's it's just less there's a surface kinda, "Yeah, these are lifestyle changes," and, but then there's the deeper
Yeah.
healing that happens that you gotta acknowledge because you are the kinda facilitator of that. So
Mhm.
and the holder of that space for each person, that you have that app with. So, it's just so much more, Brian, than it seems.
Right, yeah.
I just want you to remember it.
Yeah, I appreciate that because it's a identity level transformation that is happening.
Yeah.
And, there is that healing journey we all have to go in to heal from, oh, the person that I believed I was with my, limitations to like, oh, wait a minute, like I can drop these limitations and pretty much go from caterpillar to butterfly transformation and
Right,
see what that other side is.
right.
And some people, it's too scary to do that, honestly. Some people will sign up and they won't even do it, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then the ones that take that change, I mean, yeah, quite literally, it's a full on, I'd say like spiritual transformation too.
I agree. That's right. Yes.
That's awesome.
So,
Well, appreciate that, Bunny. And so you guys have a really good walk now that you can actually make it outside today. So that's
yeah, we're going. We're
awesome.
going. And not at night.
I'll
We
let you
really
know. Oh, good. Yeah.
we really do well at
Um,
night. It's hilarious.
Daytime. Yeah, daytime, sun's out, all of that. But yeah, I'll let you know when I post this. But yeah, I'm gonna keep you on the emails for those um
Okay,
weekly lives. So feel
that would
free
be
to hop
great.
in whenever you'd like.
All right, Brian, I appreciate it.
Yes, definitely. All right,
Thanks.
we'll talk soon and enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
Okay, thanks.